Good morning, everybody. I got my last order of the season for elderberry syrup. So I'm going ahead and getting that out. And yeah, that's the last one that's going out here. And then we are all set until next September. So I'm going to send that one out. And Bashir is going to help me pack. You want to help, Mom? He likes to put the packing peanuts in. Let me see if you can see them. Give me this. Here. You want to help me? I'm going to make the box up for you, okay? Hold on. I'm going to take that. Here it is. For some reason, I couldn't get the label printed, but I'll get that straight. Get it out today. But yep, that's our last one. Very excited. It's been a great season for elderberry syrup. All right, here you go, Bashir. Pack your box, this one up the wrong way. Here, how about we do it like this? Is that better? Does that help? Grab that one. All right, now can you reach them? Grab. Good job. Put it in the box. Unpack your boxy. Great job. Put it in here. You gotta help mommy. You gotta fill up the box. Yep, put them in here. Yeah, you gotta pick them up. There you go. All right. How about there? So it's a little closer for you. There's one you drop one. Bashir, are you playing or are you packing? Put them in the box. You gotta put it in the box. Okay, pick that up. Put it in the box for mommy. Pick those up and put them in. We made a big messy. Ooh, good job. You were getting them all in the box. Why are you closing the box? You finished? You're gonna bend that. I'm gonna bend it. That's not good. All right, wanna put this in? Put it in the box. You can't just drop it. You gotta cover it up. We gotta hide it. My mama help you. You gotta cover it all up. Good, cover it up. Look, cover it up. Look. Why are you throwing them on the floor? Pick those up. Pick them up and put them in mommy's box. Pick those up. Get those, put them in the box. Good job. Go get the other ones. Oh, it's almost gone. Where is it? It's hiding. Put those in. Great job. Give him 5. Give him 5. You gonna leave me hanging? Oh, you want us to tape it? Where's our tape? You wanna tape it? Hold it. Ready? Watch your fingers. Tape it. Push it. All done. Give me 5. No, you're not playing with that. Give me 5. Good job. Thank you for being my big helper. Okay, so I have a little bit of pots and pans and stuff to take care of from last night. I already had the dishwasher loaded and everything. So I'm gonna wash some dishes here, and then I'm going to do some fasting tips. So the main focal point of our videos today is gonna be the fasting tips for sure. That's one of the things that I do that I'm really good at, that's very popular here. And basically, I did a 9-day fast before I got pregnant with Bashir, unintentionally. And I just kind of jumped into it. I was invited to do it by a friend of mine named Bess, and he told me the night before, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I think I can do anything. So I'm like, oh, I can do this. This is gonna be easy, whatever. It was not. 3 days is a very long time to fast. So 9 days is pretty extreme. So I started fasting, and I thought I could just do, like with the bare minimum and stuff like that. But as I went through the period of fasting, I realized very quickly that I needed a better plan so I could actually focus on the spiritual elements of the fast. So I did it. I made it through or whatever. I ended up getting pregnant shortly thereafter because I was definitely at optimal health. And just over time, I was like, if other people wanted to fast who aren't, extreme about things the way that I am, how could I make this something that is accessible to them? So that is kind of how I came up with my fasting tips. And I mean, this was years after. I already had Bashir, he could walk and everything by the time I figured out how I could support another person in fasting. So what I did was I came up with a kit. There are 12 jars that you get. And these jars, the reason that I picked 12 were for a couple of reasons. For one, that's how many jars come in a case of mason jars. And then also because when you're fasting, liquid fasting, should I say, it's very important that you consume the right amount of liquid while you're fasting. And so even though you're fasting for 3 days and typically you would be replacing breakfast, lunch, and dinner with liquid, some days you might struggle. The first day might be really hard if you haven't started to mentally prepare or reduce your food intake before you decide to fast, or if you've been notified by a doctor or something like that that you need to fast. And you don't have a lot of time to mentally prepare. This is something that could definitely get you prepared for something like a surgery where you need to fast. For example, if you know that you're having a C-section, you have to fast the night before or whatever. You can't have anything before they do the surgery. So I'm not saying for days, but it's just an example. And so I'm like, how would I get through a fast successfully where I could focus on the mental and spiritual aspects of it without, the mental exercise of figuring out what I'm going to use that is a liquid to replace food. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, herbal teas, if you take those in the morning, they pretty much curb your appetite. And then you can also use an herbal tea that has herbs that are focused on whatever your actual goal is, whether you're having symptoms from menopause, or if you have cancer, or if you are trying to stop smoking, or trying to stop drinking, or you're trying to lose weight, if you have fertility issues or anything like that. So you select your herbs based upon which issue you're trying to work toward a resolution for. And so then I'm like, all right, well, typically when you are consuming fruits and things like that, you know, they have sugar in there, which can be converted to energy when it's, you know, a natural sugar. So I'm like, all right, but, you know, by noon, you should be having like a cold pressed juice or something like that. And then you can also select juices based on what's going on with you. So for example, anything red, you know, that's going to be something that helps with your blood or your heart, or, you know, on a spiritual level, making you feel grounded, safe, and secure and stable. So, you know, like I said, depending on what it is, you can be fasting just to achieve a certain state of mind or being. You might just want to be calmer and at peace. And so, you know, just for whatever your different reason is, you curate this fasting kit that supports you in achieving that goal. And so as a dinner replacement, I have this very colorful and flavorful vegetable broth that I make. And so when I make the vegetable broth, I use that as the dinner replacement. I season it very well so that it can be an enjoyable replacement for dinner without you breaking your actual fast. And then there are also some elements of the fast that don't seem quite as important or make it seem like you are creating a bunch of rules, but they'll actually help you. And trust me, I have broken some of those rules while I was fasting, and I paid for it. So, you know, for example, you shouldn't be around any negativity. So no drama, no gossiping, no arguing, anything like that. That stuff can physically make you ill, especially when you're already running on fumes because your body hasn't digested anything. And so, you know, to have something like that going on, it is a major thing that your body is going through. It's a huge undertaking for your body. So it's very, very important that you have some rules about yourself. When you're fasting, there's nothing else in your body. So, you know, some people are like, I can't smoke, not even weed. Absolutely not. That would be the only thing that was going in your body at those times. And if you know me, I am a person who I am so against smoke inhalation, period. Your body is not designed to inhale smoke. It doesn't matter if you say that it's natural, you know, whatever. And you can have your reasons, and I'm not telling you what to do or anything like that. But it is a hill that I'm willing to die in, that your body was not designed to inhale smoke. That's all I'm saying. And so, you know, I don't argue about anything like that. I don't push my beliefs on anyone or anything of the sort. I'm more of a person that if you ask me, I'll tell you. But if not, you know, you can live your life the way that you want. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. So I just basically, you know, share my lifestyle, what I'm doing, what I'm interested in. I'm still learning. And so, you know, in that case, I understand that you can meet people where they are if they actually want to meet you. Like, if I don't have a meeting with you, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you of anything. But, you know, if people are interested, I can share with you my view on anything. And you can take my view on something and combine it with your view on something and decide which way you want to go for your life. And I'm cool with that because I don't have an emotional attachment to how everybody else lives their lives. You know, I obviously want what's best for you, but I can't want it more than you. And I don't know what's best for another person because I'm not them. You know, there are people who want very simple lives. There are people who want very extravagant lives, and they're allowed to want what they want. And that has nothing to do with me. So, you know, that's kind of like my perspective on how things go. And doing Reiki and becoming like a Reiki master, that was very helpful to me in not having an emotional attachment to results that don't belong to me. You know, I know that I can put my best foot forward and support someone in whatever it is that they say that they want to do, but ultimately I can't do it for them. and I can't be emotionally attached to their results, although I can care. So, it's very important to me that I have my boundaries in, health and healing and wellness and things like that, so that I can support you, but, that I don't put myself in a situation where I get my feelings hurt, or I get so overly involved in something that I can't really control the outcome for. So, like, I remember when I first started, like, selling herbs and stuff like that, I would reach out to people like, hey, how the herbs working out for you? And they'd be like, girl, I haven't even opened the box. And I'm like, oh, I thought that you needed these like really bad. And so, it humbled me, and it had to make me slow down and be like, listen, the part that you can do, you've already done it. If they ask you any questions or need any support or anything like that, be there the best that you can. But, you are clapping for somebody while they're running their marathon. You were on the sidelines, but you did show up, and you could be there. And if you think they might need water at your mile marker or something like that where you can help them out, then, do and be that. But you can't get out there and run that race for them. They got to do it themselves, and you can cheer them on along the way, or you could just be quiet. And so I've really learned how to not like overplay my part in other people's healing, but just, defining what my part even is. So that's been a journey, but I think it's going pretty well. And I think that we have produced some very good results. There are babies on the way that people really, really were excited to conceive after trying very hard and, not being super successful, but babies on the way, babies born. We've got hundreds of pounds in weight loss, and people, still maintaining after. And, with the fasting is wonderful, but it's like going back to what you fasted from is so counterproductive. So it's so important that people have plans for after, and, I'm here to support them in that. So that is like a big deal with me. It's something that I'm obsessed with. It's something that I really genuinely care about. And I like that people trust me to go along that journey with them. And I like that I have put in my time to establish my authority in that space as well. And so I have been trusted to make, I'm probably in the hundreds with the fasting kits now. I have made a lot of fasting kits for people. And I have received very good feedback, even if people were not able to complete the fast or anything like that. And I see that really going very far for me. So I'm excited to do it, and it's so cool because even though I like to do things on a small scale, I always say in business, I always pray for the amount of, sales and just business in general, like the volume of business that I can handle. And what I can handle varies a lot based on what's going on in my life. And, there are some weeks where I get 0 orders, and those weeks I'm glad to not have a single order because I don't even know how I would even get it out. And, I know that people like in a world where the idea is like, oh, I got this handbook or whatever where you can go viral. I prefer, just like my food, to grow organically. And that way, people who care about me, who know me, who trust me, or that I'm establishing and building trust with, they can be more forgiving if something doesn't go exactly as planned. You do not want to go viral and not have the resources and support that you need to handle that volume of stuff and then destroy your business because you have these unhappy, impatient customers or something like that. That would be my worst nightmare in business. If I got 1,000 orders right now, I would lose my mind. I know that that's a volume that I'm not prepared to handle right now. Would I get it done? Absolutely. Would I have to communicate with those customers and batch things out and probably work myself to death and get help? Absolutely. But at the same time, I know that right here, right now, that is not something that I want for myself with everything that I have going on. I'm still a person, and the frequency that I want to put out into the world is not one in which I'm telling the universe that I want to work myself to death for what I want, because I don't. And so I like to take things slow. I like to grow organically. I like to engage and interact with the people who are fasting and support them and make sure they're okay. Like, these people have my phone number, you know, like, you can text me, hey girl, I'm struggling today. What would you do? And I'm just like, hey, remember what we talked about? Remember what you said you wanted to fast for. And right now is your opportunity to prove to God that this is something that you want more than food. Sometimes I get locked in on the things that I need or want or whatever, and I'm not talking about material things, but just my goals or ambitions, and then I'm fasting. And while I'm fasting, I'm like, honestly, I might want this more than the air I breathe at this point. And that's, you know, the state of mind and the state of being that you need to be in to have a successful fast. So, you know, I like to keep my business small and intimate, so that I can be there and support people in that way, because the support is equally as important as the willpower for you choosing that you needed to make a change in the first place. And I'd like to be that to people. And I think that that is definitely one of the reasons that these kits have been so wildly successful, is because the support that comes with it is unmatched. And then the community built around it. We fasted for 9 days. I had people jump in for a 3-day fast at the start, in the middle, and at the end, based on the support community that was there. People were coming to my house every day. You know, I would have morning tea with people when they came by. I might have juice at lunch with someone. I might be toasting to a glass of broth in the evening. But the community built around that, like, everybody was pushing everybody, and we all made it. And from what I understand, the majority of people met their goals. Now, if you have a fertility goal or something like that, you know, there are a lot of things and components that go into it. So you might not get pregnant the day after the fast, for example. So like for me, I didn't conceive after fasting, even though that was not my intention. I did not conceive after fasting. We fasted from December 12th to the 21st, and I conceived sometime in March. But, you know, just maintaining the consistency of eating well and optimal health and wellness after you fasted anything out of your body that was causing a blockage for you, you know, that sacrifice gets rewarded. And so that was something that I just wanted to bring up about, you know, how powerful and impactful these fasting kits and things like that, just fasting in general, has been in my own personal life. And so every time I make these, I have a conversation with the people about why they're doing it, what they need, all that type of stuff, because it is so important to me to make sure that my intentions are in the right place when I do this. And like my oldest son, he is very, very into the herbs. Like when I first started really getting a high volume of orders and stuff like that, me and him, we would pack them together. And it is a thing that we do together. Like when I'm doing fasting kits, if I got 30 of them to get out, I want to make everything fresh. It only lasts for like 5 days. So it's important that we do it and give you this fresh item right on the day that you're picking up. So, you know, my son, he helps me to pull those things together. And that is something that we do to bond, but his intentions are in the right place because he absolutely loves doing that part. He can identify the herbs, he can read them in English, he can read them in Spanish, he knows what the different blends look like together and stuff like that. And so it is just this really wonderful experience that I've had with, you know, creating and curating these fasting kits for these individual people that I do care about. And, you know, I tested it out on family and friends and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people who is a fan of monetizing anything that they're interested in. So like, I'll give an example. I am a registered yoga instructor, but I don't instruct. I like doing yoga, and I took those classes so that I could know more about it. Like I wanted to make sure that I understood correctly what it was that I was doing, that I'm doing my poses correctly, like all those things. That's very important to me, to do things in a way that benefits me best. So I became a yoga instructor because I wanted to know that I was doing my stuff the right way. Now, as for Reiki, when I became a Reiki master, I took a break from yoga to really deep dive into Reiki, learning what it was, how to do it, and I went all the way out to master level. And what I did was, after I completed my mastery certification, I decided to take on every client for free to practice. And what I did was I only accepted clients that doctors said they couldn't do anything for. So I'm talking your autoimmune diseases, or, you know, people who suffer from like drug addictions, alcohol abuse, and things like that. And the reason for those particular ones is because you have to be sober for like 48 hours to even get Reiki done on you. So if someone has made the sacrifice when they're suffering from alcoholism or addiction to something, then you know that they're ready to make a change. And so that was really cool to me to be a part of that healing process and just to gather the data on, you know, what it would take to heal and what their intentions needed to be and things like that. And from those studies, my favorite intention was self-discipline. I'm like, wow, that could really get you whatever you need. And so I've learned so much by, you know, doing these things that I love and that I'm interested in. I have been doing Reiki on myself, but I've not really been taking clients or anything like that because I don't like to leave the house. So I first would have to know you well enough to invite you to my home because I'm not going to go and do it somewhere else. And, you know, I like having the knowledge of that stuff. And so when I learned how to juice, I'm like on Facebook Live, I'm making a juice, I'm learning how to do it. And people were like, are you selling juice? Are you selling juice? And I'm like, you know, I would like to learn first. And even now, I don't sell juice per se, but if you purchase a fasting kit, juice comes in it. So technically, yes, but like, would I stand in this kitchen all day and press out juice for people to sell it? Absolutely not. Like, it has to be a part of a fasting kit or a plan that we have created together for like a customized wellness plan to resolve a specific issue or to meet a specific goal. So that's kind of where I stand with that. Like, it is time consuming. There's a, you know, a method to juicing correctly and stuff like that. And so, you know, it's not something that I want to do all day. It's something that I enjoy doing for myself and my family. But I do understand the value of helping someone in their healing process by, you know, contributing in that way. So that's just a little, you know, dishwashing conversation for you guys to just set up the scene for why I do what I do and how. And see, like I said, this is something that I'm obsessed with. This is something that I do because I genuinely care about these things. And everybody around me, you know, if you are unwell, you're probably going to be unhappy. You probably aren't going to be that nice or whatever. You know, hurt people hurt people. And if I can contribute in a way that someone that is a less than favorable person to be around becomes someone that you enjoy their company because they've healed from whatever is bothering them on whatever plane, then I'm going to do that. You know, I have had like orders from people who don't like me. And, you know, you have to use a bit of discernment on whether or not they want help or they want to sabotage your business. But by having a healthy diet and a good wellness and self-care regimen, and I'm not talking about going and get my nails done. I'm talking about getting up early and sitting in the dark and, you know, meditating and after you pray and listening back to what God says and moving on that. That's what I'm talking about in the form of self-care, not the little cutesy self-care for the girlies and all that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in that. Because sometimes it ain't cute. Sometimes it will rock your world or it'll hurt your feelings or whatever. Like, I'm into that. And so, you know, for me, by eating well and taking care of my body and doing what I'm supposed to do, even if I don't want to, being disciplined when motivation isn't there, that's what I'm on. And so because of those things, it is very important to me that I stay on top of my stuff so that I am not easily taken advantage of. And you know, it'll happen to you if you're not on your stuff. So I have to stay on top of my game for these reasons. And you know, there are a lot of people who depend on me starting in my household. And so it's very important to me that I don't fail at what I'm doing. So I have to be very intentional. I have to be locked in. And most importantly, I need to be representative of my brand. And so, you know, I do that. Well, I believe that I do. And, you know, I don't get on the internet and argue with people and things like that. I feel like the internet is a place where I have to practice perfect parenting because I don't acknowledge disrespect because, one, it's not direct. You're on the internet. You could tag someone or say something stupid or whatever. It's still not direct. You didn't come to that person and do or say anything, and you wouldn't. And so, you know, and then also, I'm not the type of person, even with my children, for example, that, you know, I don't believe in corporal punishment. I used to, but as I've learned and grown, it's unnecessary. And I feel like people who have to resort to violence, sometimes violence is the only language that they understand, which is very sad. And it could be what they were taught and didn't go beyond anything to learn a better way. But to me, the way that I explain it to my children, I'm like, you know, the option is never to get into a physical fight or altercation. It is, you need to understand your level of intelligence and figure out a way to reach a person through proper articulation. And that's what I do. And, you know, I've had, you know, some little slick comments and things like that on my social media before. And I just remember telling one person, I don't even know who they were, they said something really stupid about just juicing, you know? And instead of like belittling them or anything like that, which I wouldn't want to do, because like I said, I think people who are sick, they don't feel good. And so they take that out on you because they don't understand why you do. And sometimes people make excuses for why they can't feel better and stuff like that. So when you don't give them those excuses, they get mad at you because now it's like, hey, I have to be accountable for finding a solution to my issue because I can't turn my problem into the excuse anymore. And I'm sure that's very triggering when you live for the excuse that your problem gives you. But I'm not that empathetic to where I'm gonna let you rock with that. So it's more of a thing where I remember just telling the person, like, listen, if I have misspoken in any way, or if I have provided improper or incorrect information, please share with the class. And that's the type of person that I am. Like, you're gonna reach me through love or you're not gonna reach me at all. I answer because I'm like, maybe you do need help and this is the place that you're gonna get it. So you can stop lashing out on everybody that you come in contact with who's not done anything to you for you to approach them in that way because it's nasty. And you know, that's just the way I am and all that kind of stuff is unacceptable. Learn how to articulate yourself in a way that you can communicate effectively with other people. You are on this world, you know, on this earth with other people for a reason. And you need to find a way to connect with them if you want to be around them. You need to be a contributing member to society. And right here, these things that I'm doing right now, sharing the portions of my life with you that I think that you will find to be helpful or informative or whatever, that's my contribution. So I'm here giving you my version of the forbidden fruit to serve and to communicate things that I have learned that help me. And then also in hopes of finding out other things and better ways and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be. And that's not my goal. I'm here to love and be loved, and that's all I'm going to do. And so, you know, I'm pretty sure as this grows and stuff like that, I'm going to be faced with negativity or anything like that. And that's okay. I'm prepared to handle it. But it's not going to reach me. It's not going to bother me. It's not going to affect me. You know, I will respond in the best way that I know how. And sometimes it's just going to be using my option for silence. And that's fine too, because there's certain things that you just don't give power to. And once you put it out and then you think you're going to transfer it to me, but I don't receive it, it gets to die. So I will transmute it, but I will not allow it to be transferred to me since energy never dies. So I'm going to take whatever negativity gets sent to me I'm going to transmute it instead of allowing a transfer. And then there's more positivity that's going to come out of me, because now I'm going to just be flexing my own personal power. So I'm very excited to see how this goes. I know, what I'm up against and stuff like that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But these are things that I think are very valuable. People are going through a lot right now. They're scared, they're nervous, they don't know what's to come or whatever. And I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna tell you, that fear will destroy your kidneys. That grief, it'll destroy your lungs. That overexcitement and anxiety, it will tear up your heart. And these mental things that happen to you will manifest physically and affect your health. So I'm here to help you if that's what you're going through. And I was like, this is a perfect time to just start my channel. I know, everybody's scared about what's happening with the schools and things like that. I can empathize with it, but I don't fully understand it because it doesn't affect me. My children are homeschooled. I feel like no one can teach my children better than I can, because nobody knows them better than I do. And I also know how much more I care. That is something that you cannot destroy. Your children's education, you got one time. You got one chance at it. And if you blow it, it's going to be your fault for whatever happens. And I'm very, very hard on myself in that way. So I'm not going to let it fail. And to just share with you some different methods that work for us, and to have them illustrate things for you and show you the things that they know and the things that they can do and all that kind of stuff. It might just give you an alternative or a solution that you didn't think of or something like that. So I'm here to serve. And I'm gonna go ahead and grease this cast iron pan and put it in the oven to just bake in a little bit so it doesn't rust after I cleaned it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start a new portion of this video so that I can show you the fasting kits that I make and how I make them. It is a long process, but the hand to brain connection, while being set in the proper intentions to create and curate something personally for another person, it's a very valuable thing. It's like me pouring the energy into these herbs and these fruits and these vegetables and all of those things to get a person to a place where they can achieve a desired result that could change their life. So I want to share with you that process. It is long, it is tedious, and I don't speed up my videos because this is real life, This is something, there are options to speed up the video if you want to do that, or, you don't want to be a part of the conversation, or maybe I'm not just talking. But sometimes a conversation is going on in my head. A lot of the things that I'm doing on camera, from not just the Reiki and the yoga where I'm silent and I'm not telling you what I'm doing next or anything like that, but when I'm cutting something, the conversation is happening here. These are very meditative activities for me. Washing dishes is a ritual for me. And sometimes I'm silent because I'm meditating. I'm thinking about how grateful I am to be able to provide food to my family, or to clean up the dishes because everybody liked what I made or something like that. It's not like, oh, here we go again, I gotta do these dishes. I'm like, nah, I'm glad that I have dishes to wash and water to clean them with, and I just press a button and do it, and I didn't have to go out and pump for this water and take it into the house in any extreme of temperature or anything like that. And it's just this gratitude ritual where, like, you're gonna see me on here completely silent sometimes, just performing a task, but it's a ritual to me. And so I guess I'm explaining that just to help you understand more about me and why I do the things that I do the way that I do them, because it's all intentional. And, like I said, you have the option to skip over this if it isn't for you. You can speed it up if you don't want to wait or anything like that. But I randomly pop out with conversation or whatever, and sometimes things will be done in complete silence, but you'll just see me doing an activity because these rituals are very meditative for me. I have to stay locked in. I have to stay very on top of the state of my mind because I have a lot of things to do, and none of them are things that I'm willing to allow to fail. So I'm gonna grease the cast iron pan. It's just going in the oven. I do this all the time. I use this thing like every day. I really need to get more than one. I want to get the Dolly Parton one that says, Jolene, please don't steal my pan. So I'll probably grab that one next. But, I like cooking with cast iron and stuff like that. And it changes the trajectory of the flavor of things. So I'm going to go ahead and get this prepared. I'm going to pull out all of the stuff that I need to do the fasting kits. And then I'll just make it in real time on video so you can see that is a very large undertaking to do, and just the labor of love that goes into creating something like that for people that I care about. If you come across me and we do a conversation, I care about you. You can't get rid of me. So just be wary of that. All right, so the first thing, which is of optimal importance, is to sterilize the jars. So I like to use Dawn Power Wash to sterilize these. And one thing about me is I recycle jars, but only for my own household. Everybody gets their own new jars out of their very own case. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the jars and stuff ready, because this is the case that you actually get back with your order. So people pick them up in the case just like this. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start sterilizing the jars so that they have time to dry. And then after that, I'm gonna start the vegetable broth. And during the time that the vegetable broth is on the stove, I'll prepare the juices, and then the teas last, they're the quickest. And so I will just construct this entire thing in front of you. It's something I'm really excited to do, because I always start recording this and then for some reason it just doesn't go through to completion. And I have a friend who has chickens, so all of the broth ingredients that get strained off, all of the pulp, which is actually very beautiful, that gets pressed out from the juices and everything like that, I'm going to be dropping off to her to give to her chickens. So that's another use for the pulp that people don't think about. If you have a farm or you're a homesteader or something like that, you can give the pulp to your chickens. Chickens pretty much eat anything, and they fertilize very well with their feces and things like that. So just a thought, if you have chickens, another thing that you can do with the excess that you don't need from this process. But I wanted to just grab everything, get it all out, prepared, and, just be organized. And I've gotten more and more organized as I've gone through this process over and over, just to be more efficient. I don't like to waste time. This is something I enjoy doing, but at the same time, I still have to work. I still have to teach my children, spend time with them, take care of just business, things I have to do. I got websites to build and stuff like that. So, I do what I need to do, but I don't like to waste time while I'm doing it. All right, on to this one. And I'll converse with you more, you know, when I'm actually preparing the food and everything. I'm gonna make sure I get this part done real quick. Turn your cleaning into a meditation and a ritual, and you'll understand how I feel when I do this kind of stuff. I'm over here like thinking about what I'm going to be saying and what I'm going to be talking about, and you know what points I want to hit and make while we build this thing, and to really just like help you get into my mind on, you know, what my intentions are and how I prepare these and how these things can work for you and stuff like that. I know one of the things that I was thinking about is how, you know, when you're juicing and you need to produce a large volume of juice, it's important that you do multi-ingredient juices, because like you can use 6 apples and make 1 jar of apple juice, and that's not going to go very far. So, you know, juicing could get expensive in that way, but for personal use, it's fine. When you're doing these larger undertakings, you know, I was kind of just sitting over there in gratitude for how much I figured out about juicing and how I can pretty much almost perfectly estimate how much of what I'll need to be able to do all of this. And you know, it's really dope to see your progress and how far you've come. And when I think about the ingredients in the juices, I think about them on just different levels. And I spoke to you a little bit earlier about how, you know, different things, they have their own spiritual and physical meaning. So like I was talking about some of the red juices and, you know, how they are in alignment with the root chakra and stuff like that. And, you know, just really how interconnected everything really is. And I want to talk more about that, you know, as we do each juice. So let me just get these clean first, and then we can really, you know, dive in. And it's like, it's so crazy, like I'm not a morning or a night person per se. I'm the type of person that I just do what needs to be done. Like I don't know that I have a preference on a certain time of day, but I do try to, like, you know, respect my biological clocks and stuff like that, and, you know, make sure that I don't affect my circadian rhythm, and, you know, go to sleep and get the proper amount of sunlight that I'm supposed to have and all that kind of stuff. It's really a lot. I don't know, like, whose idea it was to work and stuff like that and just take so much time out of your life when the things that you need to do to have optimal health, they require so much of your energy. That's kind of like what I'm starting to learn. Like, how in the world are we supposed to protect and preserve our health if we can barely, you know, steal time to be able to do it? And so as I go on this journey, I'm learning more and more about, you know, what I can do to free myself from all of this. And the reason that I was thinking about that is because, like, I could be doing this on the weekend and I'll know that I have a lot of people coming, or, you know, I've set up time. So, like, I end up getting up at like 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning to do these fasting kits because I know how long it's going to take for me to build them. And I could have like the earliest person coming at like 9 a.m. So that means I gotta be up and make sure that everything is ready and cooled enough to even send off with you, you know? And so, you know, I just think about how much I love it. And, you know, I don't mind getting up out of the bed, even if I went to bed late, which usually is the case if I'm already working on something, and still, you know, getting up and showing up to do this in the proper state of mind. So, you know, I just have this appreciation for being able to do something that I love as often as I want to do it. And then also to do it for myself. You know, these are things that started off as something that I was doing where, you know, really people just supported me, whether they pay attention to the journey that I'm following, or if they buy something from me because, you know, I have what they need and they want to get it from me. If they just follow along and ask questions and make me dig deep to make sure that I truly understand what I'm talking about or whatever. Like, it's just so much that goes into this, and it makes me feel supported. Like, people trust me, they believe in what I'm doing, they trust what I say, and that they know that I'm thorough with my research and stuff like that. Like, that makes you feel very good. I need to like really look and see how many fasting kits I've prepared for people. But you know, one of my more proud moments is like when we did the last fast for 9 days, the second half of the fast, people who were doing the full fast were empowered enough to build their own kits. When I saw that, I was like, oh, they are definitely gonna make it to the end. You know, like I said, there is a hand to brain connection for that level of preparation. Like, this is what I'm going to do, and your hands are telling your mind as you touch each individual thing that, yeah, this is what we're about to do instead of food, and, you know, just really locking in. So I love it so much. All right, this place I can write the names on. Okay, now we're going to get started on our broth, and it's super simple to do, and I'll explain the process for you as well. I'm going to move over just a little bit here. Okay, so sometimes you got to just, you know, use what's available, and I think that we didn't grab maybe celery only this time, so not a huge deal. So the key to making a good broth is just vegetable scraps. So typically what you would throw away. So you'll notice that all of the outer peeling of the garlic and your onions and things like that, or the base of your fennel or the tops of your fennel, all these things we will use in the broth. It's what you would throw away. If you had like the tops off of carrots or the core of a cabbage, which we do have, all of those things are things that you can use to make literally the perfect broth. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'd like to see, you know, other people doing this and saying if it's worked out for them. So let me get something to put this stuff in. I'll use that later. I got bowls. Yeah, they're all washed, but this should be good. Okay, so first I'm gonna actually, let me get the herbs out, and I need to get some mushrooms too. You do those last though. But yeah, I got some live herbs. We've got thyme, sage. I thought I had rosemary, but maybe we don't, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. You can taste hints of them and stuff like that, but if you don't get it, it's not like the end of the world. So I have those. And the mushrooms. All right, I think that's it. Okay, and then I got my peppers and onions and all that. Yeah, this is gonna be perfect. Okay, so I have this large stock pot here. This is what we're gonna do it in. And let me go ahead and cut off my stove. I'm at my oven, because it was just baking that cast iron, and I don't have to worry about that. All right. So, need a knife. Let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna cut the tops off of my fennel. Pop that in And then I'm gonna cut the base. This part I'm gonna put in first and let this sweat down. I'm gonna do the fennel and the larger onions. I'm gonna put them in first, and the garlic. But you just rough chop it. You don't cut it up like you're preparing it for a meal or anything like that. It's super simple. Just rough chop. And this is what goes in there. Alright, so I'm gonna do just 4s. And keep everything, you know? Get out of the way. Making it hard for me to cut it. I got a red onion here. I got green onions too. So very oniony. Onions are so good for you. Many different ways. And I just love the colorful variety too, you know? Okay. And then chop these. And I'll put this part, the base of it, I'll put that in first to sweat. And then we got our green peppers. So I'm gonna cut that up. And then the base, this part, I'll put in first. And the red pepper, same deal. Slice it up. And this is just leftover from other things that I've been making, you know? So you don't have to waste. You can make you a nice broth and you know what's in it. You know, it doesn't have like the preservatives and things like that, but you could freeze it. So, you know, little things like that can definitely benefit your health. And look, I had 2 green peppers, so we're gonna have 2 of them in here this time. Pop that there. Okay, and then let me get the core out of this cabbage. This actually makes for a very pretty color in the broth. So we'll use that. And I'll take this little ugly piece too. Alright. And I think that's all we need. So let me put a little bit of water down in the bottom. Now all these things, they're full of water anyway. So I'm gonna just put about, you know, the bottom curve up to where the curve goes straight. And then I'm going to place all of our vegetables inside, and I'll show you what it looks like. Lay our core down here, and all of these. Okay, and then this is the rest of what we'll put in after, once we add another layer. So yeah, we just got everything just touching the bottom, and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna spray my board off there, and we're gonna get started on juicing. This I'm done with. Just that. We'll put our mushrooms over here, and we'll put our live herbs over here. It's just sage and thyme. No rosemary this time. No big deal. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is gonna be watermelon, pomegranate, and mango. So watermelon's out of season right now, so I had to get one that was already like cut up, but my preference is watermelon in summer with seeds. So just something to bear in mind. And I've gotten a lot better at doing the pomegranates for juicing because the way that you cut them is kind of crazy. And they look bloody, which is perfect. And you know that these things are like really good for your heart and for your blood in general. So I really like pomegranate. A friend of mine came up with this recipe. We were juicing out in Los Angeles, and she came up with this one. We used to do watermelon, cucumber, and lime, but this tasted better, and our customers really liked it. So we went with it, and I'm very grateful to her and her, creativity and knowledge and everything like that, because we have come a long way with the juicing, and I'm very proud of like where she is and what she's doing now too, and how we've just taken this one idea of us just spending time together to lock in and do something so beneficial to other people. Hey, Bashir, what you doing? Hey, how you doing? What's going on up there? These are actually good for winter. Pomegranate season is like winter time, so they're easier to find. Sometimes I really struggle to find them when I'm in Virginia. California, not so much, but Virginia is like hit or miss if I can find them. Sometimes I have to buy them like already taken out of the actual pomegranate itself when they're not as available here. But those are some of the challenges that I have, and why I couldn't say, yeah, I'm definitely going to sell juice, because sometimes you can't even get the stuff that you need for them. And then it's got to be done so fresh that you are at the mercy of, your local grocery stores on what their stock is. So I've been lucky enough to be able to always find what I need to make what I need, but it can get a little bit stressful when you don't know if you're going to be able to find a specific specialty item. And I do like drive around until I find it. So, you know, I remember going out at like 9 a.m. and getting back at 2 p.m. one day looking for stuff for juices. Even just, you know, going to little markets and stuff like that. Or sometimes it's a watermelon that you can't find, you know. Because in the summer, I do not waver on seeded watermelon. Sometimes I'm like, well, you're going to just have to wait. Okay. Pomegranate is done. This stuff is messy too. I remember like having it spray all over my face and it, you know, just getting everywhere and looking a mess when I was done juicing. But, you know, this is what I do for love, or from love rather. I don't do things for love, I do it from love. It always works out for me. Funny story while I'm cutting this mango. I used to not like mangoes. And I went to Mexico with a friend of mine and my sister. And they had some mangoes. And they were so good. Oh my God. And I used to not like the texture. But I have overcome that issue. And I'm a huge mango person. Like, I'll eat a mango for breakfast. And a friend of mine, Jordan, she came over. And she was like, I'm going to show you how to cut a mango. So you can get it like cut correctly. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's so funny because like when I go to the market out in Los Angeles, my friend that I was telling you about who came up with that recipe, the people are always like, they'll come over because we juice on site, like in front of you. And they'll come over and they're like, oh, I like watching her cut stuff. She looks like she really loves it. And I do enjoy cutting stuff or like just being well received because we go to where people need what we have, but they might not necessarily know that they need it. And we just come and, you know, we build relationships and stuff like that. And then we go from there. So it's very interesting to be so well received in an area where you're not the typical vendor. And so a lot of the times we got customers just by them being curious of what we were even doing. And they'd be like, for real? So it's like, it's just juice. You know, they're like waiting for the catch. I'm like, no catch. Like, anybody could benefit from good health. And that's why we're here. So we would like do this in front of everybody and they would just watch us cut and like, wow, like it's just, like she loves cutting. And I'm like, because I actually do. So pretty. It's so funny because it's like, you know, people say, oh, it looks like this or it looks like that. And I'm like, it's because it is, you know, it doesn't look like I love it. I actually love it. I don't perform for anyone. If you come over, I would actually cook for you. So, you know. And even though my face doesn't show it, my thinking face isn't like the same as my happy face, but I am happy while I'm thinking. I just be focused. So, you know, I don't mean to like have my resting face look unwelcoming, but I just be focused, that's all. Where's your paper? Avery! Avery! Come here. You must have peed. Avery! LJ! Come here.
Mommy, I'll do.
Yeah, Mama's
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Come here. I'm making broth. I'm recording a video of me making a fasting kit, but I need you to come here. Look at your brother.
Wait.
Like, why? Why?
There's nothing to get mad at him about.
Why?
Have you guys been opening your doors for him?
He's been opening
Grab
the
him.
door.
I'm recording. What is wrong with you? Are you listening to anything that I'm saying?
No.
Clearly. Look out for him and go get him something to put back on. I only have 2 to make, so it shouldn't take that long. I only have 2 to make, so it shouldn't take that long. The juices will probably be the most time consuming part of it, but I'm about to start the first one now. And some of the stuff I already pre-cut. Okay, and then I have watermelon right here. So I need to make 3 of these. So hopefully we get a good yield. If not, I'll make another one. Okay, so let's turn the camera. There we go. So here's our pomegranate and mango. Pop that in there. And then the rest will be watermelon. Drop one little piece on. I'll grab some bags so that I can put the pulp and stuff in. So here's our first pour. Let me see if I can zoom in for it. The juicer auto stops when you open the top. It's a safety feature. In case I need to sit something in there. push in with the next juice. So the next juice that I'm going to do is going to be carrot, orange, and pineapple. Yep. So for that, carrot, orange, and pineapple, we only need 2. On to the next. Okay. I already had some pineapple cut up, so I'm gonna use that. What you doing?
Getting soap.
I think they're good. Thank you. So the base of this is carrot, so you'll notice that it's very carroty on purpose. And I hope I have some extra because I really like the taste of this one. You can do about that and this should probably do the trick. I cut the oranges instead of peeling them, and the reason for that is because whenever I'm juicing and I'm using my fingers and stuff like that a lot, I'm always like bound to get a cut or something like that on my hand. And I find out whenever I'm dealing with citrus. So I cut it so that I don't have to peel it and squeeze that stuff into my hands. But that's why, you know, I peel oranges like if I'm going to just be eating them for myself. But unfortunately, every time I juice, especially when I'm doing a lot of it, I end up just, you know, burning my hands. And I still go through with it. But it's a little bit painful. And I have to get to a point where just because I can tolerate things doesn't mean that I need to put up with them. So that's a way to, you know, look out for myself. And a lot of times you'll see me do things like, just because I have a batch juicer doesn't mean that I want to work it to death with all the things that it could possibly handle. So I always remove the outer coverings of my citrus. I do cut things down a little bit to make it easier for it to pull things down into the part where everything gets pressed and stuff like that. Like, because I mean, you can hear the motor just working and working and working. I'm not bringing the motor out of my juicer because I want to use that whether I'm making juice for people or not. Like, this is something that I use often. Like, I'm the type of person, I will really get up and make fresh juice every day. Like, that's my thing. That's how I do. I had some pineapple. Might be like half of a pineapple here that I can use. That's lemon. Those are apples. Yep. There we go. Like, I know I got like half of a pineapple. I'm gonna use that up. And this should be enough. All right, let's switch views and then you can admire the juicing. Okay, perfect. So orange, pineapple, carrot. Take one. And we only need 2 of these, so I'm sure we'll have a little bit more of a yield than 2. So I will enjoy that for myself because I don't think I've had anything today. And I like to keep my pineapples separated from my oranges so that I can get a really good yield of juice. Because sometimes what will happen is it gets like really frothy and you get foam instead of juice. Now it can settle, but who wants to wait for that? So I like to do separation of my softer items that I'm juicing from my harder items. It's not as important when you're batch juicing, but it is important when you are not using a batch juicer. So I have like an omega juicer that I use, and I really like it. It's still a masticating juicer. It's a slow juicer, and it does cold press juicing. But it's not a batch juicer, so you just can't throw things in there in any order and get the results that you want. All right, and then let me get a pen so I can mark off that. So I did the reds. We're all accounted for. Now we need 1 of each orange. So 2 jars. And the 4. Alright, and our stuff is very low, so I'm going to add some water now for our broth. So I'm going to put 2 pitcherfuls of cold water into our broth, and I'll just take a break between this juice and the next one and show you how I do that while it fills up. Then I'm gonna season it. Honestly, this is probably all that we need for the volume of juice that we're going to be making. And I'm sure I'm going to end up having some to freeze just for my own personal use after this. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the remaining vegetables that we had. And then once this is back boiling and everything like that, then I'll add our mushrooms in. But I'm going to add our herbs in too. So we got sage and we've got thyme. Some of our thyme isn't as pretty as others, so I'm gonna take that out. Yeah, the thyme on the top is like not that pretty. So I'll just use the healthier looking thyme. That's good. And let's refocus on our juice real quick because it's filled up, and then I'll season it. I did that just to make sure that you can see that all of the flavors are going to be mixing. So I didn't want to have this just be oranges and carrots only. I wanted to make sure everything was where it needed to be. And I'm going to take some of this for myself for now. There we go. So it's almost done. And as you can see, our pulp is filling up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the bag. I want to make sure it don't get on the counter. I'm going to give that away to my friend. I'm sure her chickens will really enjoy this as a treat. You see, this one is a much darker orange because it's so carroty. Come on, push it out. All right, I think that's as far as it's going to go. Go ahead and mark orange off the list. And I'm gonna get a little bit of this, and everybody in the house likes that one too, so they'll be happy to see that in the fridge. Give me some ice. Okay, now before we start the next juice, I'm gonna put our pulp into a bag, and then I'm gonna season our broth, and I season very heavily. So this is like a dinner replacement for people who may not have ever fasted before, and so that has to be taken into consideration. So you gotta like really make it nice and flavorful so that they want to continue fasting. And you know, the salts and things like that, your body needs salt. And you know, I know a lot of times people have like blood pressure issues and they think that you should stay away from salt and stuff like that. But salt is an excellent source of magnesium that helps to keep your electrolytes where they need to be in your body and things like that. So, you know, salt can really bring you back up at the end of the day after you've not really had a lot of things that went into your body. And this is good. Okay, let's get seasoning. Salt. Now, if you ever over salt something, just so you know, you can add a potato and it will pull the salt out. So don't fret if you do end up putting too much salt in something. You can fix that. It's a little tip. I'm gonna use the rest of this. Just onion powder, garlic powder. And I'm one of those people who really likes cumin, so I use a lot of cumin. And then this is adobo, which is just basically more garlic powder and onion powder because we were kind of low on that. All right, and then I like to use this stuff. It's called mix-up salt, and it includes herbs as well. So basically it has salt, onion, black pepper, garlic, celery seed, thyme, and oregano. Oregano is so good for you. So I'm gonna add some of that. And then I'm gonna just keep this going until it's brought to a boil. So I don't think we're gonna need to season it anymore just because we pretty much have the volume that we need. I don't expect to add any more, what do you call it? I don't expect to add any more water, just some of the mushrooms. And I'm gonna only do just like a handful or so of these because I use mushrooms for a lot of things. And I just don't see it being necessary for this. Let me get my ladle, mix things around. So let me just show you what we're looking like. So see, just very heavily seasoned, but we got to get all this stuff like almost translucent. So it's going to be on here for a while. So pretty. So the last thing we got to do is add mushrooms and we're basically done with that. All right. The next thing we're going to do is our green juice. So let's mark off the orange. My big old forehead is all in the camera probably, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to do the green juice next. Then we'll do purple and then we'll do red and we'll dark red and we'll be done. So the green juice is kale, pineapple, apple, lemon, and ginger. So let's move here. Oh, I guess I should move our pulp bag out of the way. Yeah. Okay, let's get you down here so you can see me prepping. So I'm gonna cut up pineapple. Half will go for this and half will go for the next juice. Well, probably the next two. Yeah, and I already cut my beets up. So kale, pineapple, apple, lemon, and ginger. Let me grab the kale. My kale is already washed and cut. Now, this is my favorite juice, so if there's any left over, I'm just gonna go ahead and drink it. That was good too. I like that one a lot when I just really want something nice and sweet. But I like that watermelon one after I do hot yoga. That will bring me back to life. So let me go ahead and get our pineapple together. I have an uncle who passed away. He's probably the only person that I've had that's a close member of my family that was not like old who passed away. And he taught me how to cut a pineapple for my son's first birthday. My son, LJ, that was down here earlier that I was talking to, he, his birthday is April 8th. So his first birthday fell on Easter. And I did an Easter egg hunt. So it was like 80 kids. It was insane. One of my other uncles, he literally bought bunnies so that kids could hold them and take a picture with them. And then my little cousins went ahead and took them home because, like, I'm not a pet person. He was like, I didn't rent them, I bought them. It was just easier. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what are we gonna do with them? And my cousins, they kept the bunnies and they were very happy. They like raised them and took care of them. But yeah, I'm just laughing at, you know, how often I cut pineapples because there was a time where I didn't even know how. And that's who taught me. So it's a little fun fact. And don't worry too much about like the pineapple skin and stuff like that getting on anything because the juicer will press all of that out as pulp. So that's why I'm not like, oh, let me rinse the cutting board, let me rinse the cutting board, let me rinse the cutting board, because it doesn't really matter. It's gonna push it out as pulp anyway if it happens to get on there. It's not a big deal. But I do try to, you know, make things easy on the motor by not making it super difficult for things to get out of that. To get pushed out as pulp. So I don't leave a lot of stuff on there if I can help it. All right, that half will be for another juice. Okay, then I need to cut up probably 2 apples should do for this one. And I'm gonna do 2 lemons and I'm gonna do a healthy piece of ginger. I do cut the outside off of the ginger, but you don't have to. I just do it because you can get an earthier taste in your ginger, in your juices, if you keep the outer covering on. So that's why. And I'm going for like a good sweet taste with this one. If it was something where I didn't care about the taste, it wouldn't matter. Same with turmeric, I take the skin off. And the skin is so soft on turmeric, you could actually peel it off with like a spoon. You don't even have to cut it. But I like to cut things, so that's what I do. And then when I'm dealing with like lemons and limes, sometimes oranges, I put that stuff down the garbage disposal in my sink. It's important that you don't leave the flesh on though. Like I've had people kind of try to check me in my comments like, don't put the lemons down the drain. And I'm like, well, the peel is fine. And it gives a nice smell to your house too. Because you know, lemons are like generally good to clean with. But you shouldn't have the flesh on there. That doesn't help your garbage disposal at all. You know what? I need to go out today and get something to wear. I have a meeting tomorrow. I'm a consultant and I usually don't have to go anywhere, but sometimes FaceTime is necessary. And yeah, I've got a meeting, so I'm gonna have to have something to wear. So I might go shopping today. I also have somebody coming over to be consulted, so I guess I better figure out like my timing today. use gala apple or gala. I don't know how you say it. How do you say it? Gala or gala? And when I'm juicing apples, I remove the core. You don't have to, but I do. If seeds or something like that got in there, it wouldn't be a big deal. But like I said, I do not overwork my juicer. It is something I actually really like and enjoy having around. And I plan on getting as much use out of it as I can because it was a really good investment for me and I want it to pay. All right, now we can juice. We have everything we need to get started. So, I'm gonna keep my apples and pineapples separate because they just make for a lot of froth. So I'm gonna move the camera and you'll see me do the juice from this side. There we go. So we got half a pineapple here. Now all we need to do is make 2. So then I'm gonna put the kale in next. Pineapples are full of water, so whenever you're juicing with pineapple, you know you're gonna get a really good use. Apples are a wonderful magnesium source. So if you are juicing with apples, that's helpful to help you not get like headaches and things like that. I tell people all the time, you get headaches all the time, make sure you're getting an apple in the morning. That apple a day is not a joke. All right, I'm gonna throw in my apples here. Matter of fact, let me hold these little slice ones and put this piece there. This one. And I'll pop in the lemons and ginger. Let's get this part going. So then I can do more kale. We use the rest of the bag. And it starts out orange because that's what we had in there at first, but you'll notice that that chlorophyll from the kale is really going to start taking over the color. So don't worry if you're juicing back to back, that's normal. And we got 2 of these, so I'm going to go ahead and grab what we need for those. See, this one is like one that gets a little frothy, so we got to be careful with that. We don't want to lose juice because we didn't mix things properly or, you know, put them in the juicer in the proper order. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in the lemon. Got this piece of ginger here that's going to go in there, and then the remainder of our apples. Oh, let me push the kale in there too. I'm gonna just open the top to make my life easier. There we go. And then we get that finished off. While that's going, I'm just going to prepare for our beet juice. So I already had beets cut up. The rest of this stuff I'll probably throw out. And then I will do apples, carrots, and lemons. Pineapple, beets. We're looking good with our juice. Hopefully it's enough to where it doesn't overflow from that thing. But we did very good. We have very minimal foam, but I know that that's one that can get foamy, so I want to be careful with that. Oh, I had 2 fasting kits to make. So I already did watermelon, pomegranate, mango. I got orange. There's some leftover orange in there if you'd like to have some. I have kale, pineapple, apple, lemon, and ginger. I had to do 2 of those. So if any is left, I'm going to drink it. I got to do 1 beet one, and then I got to do 1 purple cabbage. So I'm going to cut up all the apples that I need now. I only need 2. And then I need 1 lemon. Open it for me. Thank you. Pineapple. Okay, all set. And then my reward for the juicing. Boop. That came out perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to do the beet juice. So this one, let me get the tops on these and mark them off of the list. What does she get? Green. Oh, we only needed 1 green. So, we got an extra. Okay. I ain't tripping. All right. So I need a beet one for her. Green one for her. Okay, we got an extra green here. Put that in the fridge to keep. I'm tripping. All right. Yeah. I need a dark red. Let me mark this green off. And then I need a purple. So I'm going to do the dark red now. This green. That's right, because she got 2 of the other one. Okay. No biggie. Okay. So, beet, pineapple, carrot. Cut those up because... Oh, and I might not need to cut another pineapple because we got a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to use like a quarter of a pineapple for this one because we got carrots, apples, and everything for this. 1 lemon. See my broth? How does it smell?
I thought you was cooking.
LJ was like, Mom, what you cooking? I'm like, broth. He's like, ugh, whatever. I'm gonna do that chicken salad today, and then I'm gonna use lion's mane mushroom in 1 batch of it and see if you guys care or can tell the difference or whatever. Alright, that's everything I need for that one. And then I'm gonna cut this up for the next one. So I'll just be ready to pop that juice in and get it out of there. And the apples and pineapple should have enough to create 1 jar, because that's all I need. So we got pineapple, apple, lime, and purple cabbage, which purple cabbage is the star. And then after this, I just gotta make teas and I'm done. All right, let's switch views. Okay. So I'm gonna put the pineapples down at the bottom. Then I'm gonna do the beets because they're kind of hard. Then I'm gonna do the apples and the lemon. And I'm gonna put the carrots at the top. And this should be enough for 1 cup, I'm sure. Carrots, they don't yield a lot of juice, but one thing that people need to be aware of is just because it's a vegetable does not mean that it isn't sweet. Juice. We did grapes with, we did mustard and grapes that time. That came out good, right? We had a grapes that had a season. You like that, right? I did too. That's really good. Good times from the farm. Is the broth boiling?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's in it.
Okay. I'm gonna add the mushrooms to it. If we have any left over, this I'll do it, but I don't know anything. I'm not a huge fan of milk in general, but if I needed it for something, I would drink it. But it's not like, it's not my first choice. All right, so let me go get the jar for that. Ginger. It's strong. Oh, God. I'm gonna put this over here so I'll be ready when it's time to do the purple one. Get some more ice. And I'm gonna rinse the juicer out this time because these beets are so prominent. I do not want the taste of the other juice to be affected. So now, this is the one, this is just extra. So I'll just leave this one for the house. So we got some beet juice. Bradley, he likes it, so I'll just give that one to him. A lot of the times I do this one last, but it doesn't really matter because like the purple cabbage one, it has a very prominent taste too because there's like a little bite to the purple cabbage. So, all right, dark red is done. So we are all finished with the juices on that side. And now I just need to do a purple one. So let me rinse the juice out real quick. I'm gonna put this away. pulp is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and get that out real quick. We only got a little bit more. These chickens are gonna have all their colors. If I had time to run out to the post office, I might stop by my friend's shop and just give her stuff. Let's pull this down and back it up. Okay, maybe here. All right, now I'm gonna clean out the juicer. It's actually very easy to do. So I'm not like cleaning it because I'm about to do that after this juice, but I'm gonna rinse all of the stuff out that's inside of it. So this part here, the basket, you also have to clean under the basket. What you need? Do I have any more what? No, Bradley made a thing to take for lunch for himself, and that was it. We didn't have a lot though. It was like 1 serving left. Yeah, he packed that joint up this morning because he probably figured somebody else was gonna get it ahead of him. Did you eat once or twice last night?
What?
Did you do a baked potato? I think me and you are the only ones that ate everything. I don't know if anybody else did. You know who wasted Bashir? Bashir wasted. I was like, what's wrong with you? You didn't get no corn?
I didn't eat corn. I just had broccoli, pasta.
So Avery, she didn't do broccoli. She ate corn though. Maybe I'm the only person who ate everything because Bradley didn't do broccoli either.
I put the broccoli in the pasta.
You did what?
I put the broccoli in the pasta.
Oh, you put it in the pasta? That was smart. I figured, like, you know, if you were to have like a seafood boil, those would be things that you would want. And we got plenty of potatoes, so I was like, let me just use them up. And that's kind of how I decided what the size were going to be. Because I was like, if I do this pasta, everybody's not going to be full.
Where's the leftover seafood you had though?
The leftover what?
Seafood.
It ain't no leftover seafood.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, he
The box
wanted
right
that.
here.
No, he wanted the box.
Oh.
I just didn't put the claws in there because he wanted them, but it was annoying to like break them up for the pasta anyway, so I didn't do that. But he said that he wanted to be able to like have some of the seafood outside of it being in the pasta. So I just left the little cluster thing over there for him. But that's why it was there. It wasn't like for everybody.
That's alright, we got more.
Huh?
That's alright, we got more.
We got plenty of other stuff that we can have.
No, I'm good.
What did you say?
Can I have this?
Can you have what?
Yes.
Some of it, but only once today.
Alright.
This stuff be dying my fingers. I be looking like a juice mechanic. Hands be all red and orange and stuff. And then the stuff gets like all in my face. And don't let Bashir see it because you will take it.
See what?
You're right.
He not with me no more. He going with Avery. Avery was knocking on the door. He said, forget somebody you're leaving.
Avery knocked for him.
Avery knocked on the door and he started walking up to the door and pointing at it.
When I finish this, then you guys got to do your lesson. So be ready. I'll try to have him down for naps so you guys can focus. But if not, he's just going to be learning with you. All right, last juice. All right, so this is the purple one. I know it sounds crazy to add cabbage into a juice, but it is a very powerful cancer fighter and preventer that people aren't usually aware of. So we have this one. It is a bestseller out in Los Angeles, but it is purple cabbage, pineapple, apple, and lime. And people really like it, so here we go. It tastes good. It's got a kick to it, though, from the cabbage, for sure. And it has a beautiful color. And we have one order for this, so I'm going to get one thing for it. And I'm going to chop these apples up so I can just pop them in as it juices down. So that cabbage, even though it takes up a lot of space, it doesn't yield a lot. So let's go ahead and start with it. top. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, it can get very frothy with, you know, these leaves and stuff like that. Okay, there's nothing really left up in there, so whatever comes in here, we're gonna grab the rest of it. All set with the juice. Perfect. I'll drink the rest. Now we can move on to the tea. So let me go ahead and mark this off. The purple one, done. Okay. And let's go ahead and add our mushrooms to our broth. I'm gonna just do a handful and that should be enough. Okay, so let me show you what we have. See how everything is starting to get translucent? Make sure we get the season off the side. Oh, splashed on me. But it's just so pretty and vibrant. All these colors and everything in here. And just let it keep cooking down. All right, so now we're gonna go in here and we are gonna do our teas. So let me fix the tripod real quick. Y'all gonna have to go through the little technical part with me. Okay, and I'm gonna actually lift the ends up like that. Yeah, you'll be able to see better. All right, but this is my apothecary. And I am going to grab the herbs out of there to make these teas. So I'm gonna bring my list in here and the jars that we're gonna be putting them in. And I'm gonna get some water too, so just a second. So we need 8 of these. We'll work down here so you can see. Got our tops because I write on those. Have our list so I know which herbs to pull. Okay, so the way that I do this is super simple. I label everything, and this helps the customer or the client because they need to know what they're drinking, because they may have a way that they want to go about drinking these as far as the order, instead of just saying tea, because there are a variety of blends. And so I write on these so you know what's in your jar. And also the teas can sometimes look very similar to the vegetable broth. So I don't label the vegetable broth. Since you get 4 of those, you'll know what they are because they just don't have a label at all. And then the same with the juices, you know what they are. They have their own unique colors and things like that. So I haven't really found a need to label those, and they don't look like anything else that's in the kit. So we're gonna do 2 of them are for blood pressure. And I think that is very good that intuitively those people chose to have juices that are red. Red, you know, it is definitely the color of your blood. All right, and then we have 1 for sleep, 1 for energy, 2 for weight loss, 1 for detox, and 1 for menopause. I'm going to go ahead and start with filling the menopause one. And, you know, when people reach out to me about, when women reach out to me and they're around the age where they could be in menopause or something like that, a lot of the times the questions that I get asked are, hey, you know, do you have anything for sleep, or do you have anything for energy, like that combination? And so I ask, hey, you know, have you been to your doctor? Have you been told that, you know, you might be experiencing symptoms from menopause? And the reason that I ask that is because sometimes this blend is just all you need. And because of that, I don't want to just, you know, my goal, like I said, I want my business to stay intimate. My goal is not to have you on herbs forever. I just want you to help get your, you know, I want to help you get your problem resolved. And so with that, it was very important to me that I get you the right herbs to resolve your problem as quickly as possible. So I'm usually like, hey, how about we try the menopause one out, see how that goes. And then from there, we decide if you need the sleep one. Because before you get energy, if you talk to me, I'm like, how much sleep are you getting? Or if you're not getting enough rest, are you willing to change the things that are preventing you from getting rest, from like switching your job from working overnight, things like that. So it's a lot of questions that happen before I just say, oh yeah, you know, take these herbs. This is my blood pressure one. And my favorite tip about blood pressure that I like to share to people is like, you know, especially like Black people, the first thing they say is, oh, you know, this person gets too much salt. And then they completely cut salt out of the diet, and salt is so necessary for your diet, when most people's blood pressure issues are actually rooted in lack of hydration. So I want to share with people that you need to consume half your body weight in ounces in a liquid. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be getting 100 ounces of healthy liquids. Healthy liquids can include water, of course. Fresh spring water is my recommendation. And you can even look up like a local spring to you so you can go collect it yourself if that's your vibe. But, you know, half your body weight in healthy liquids in ounces. That doesn't mean juice from the store. Juice from the store, unless you go to a juice bar where it's freshly pressed the way that I just did it in front of you. Otherwise, it is in the soda category. And I don't think a lot of people know that. And I've tried to like do, you know, commercial juices, and I've had opportunities for things like that. But the reason that I didn't do it was because, one, a lot of them don't like to do the juice in glass. And for two, they were not interested in a juice that needed to be replaced within 5 to 7 days. That's important to me. So if I wouldn't sit a mango on the counter and eat it after that time period, I wouldn't want that in my juice after that time period. And they wanted it to be able to have like this really long shelf life, which required preservatives. And I just wasn't willing to do it. You know, like I said, I don't do this for money anyway. I do it because I enjoy it. And I thought that that might be a way to make our blends more accessible. And it just didn't work out. And I moved on from it. And I actually spoke to this guy who owned a manufacturing company who did it. And he's like, you're not going to make any money because your stuff is going to expire or whatever. And he's like, people are in business for money. And he's like, I'm just going to tell you the truth on, you know, why we don't do it that way. And I'm like, I appreciated his honesty and transparency because it just showed me that that was not the way that I wanted to go. And the only way I could do it is if I literally had my own manufacturing facilities where the juice is manufactured and we were the ones who deliver it. And that's not what I'm trying to do. So that one I just put there, that was my sleep blend. I have had people who use Ambien and things of that nature who have really had very good results from the sleep blend. And this energy blend right here, one of the interesting things that I have heard as a customer feedback is that people who smoke marijuana, this energy blend, for whatever reason, is very calming to them and they can use this in place of marijuana. I don't know personally because I've never actually smoked it before and I never would. But I just thought that that might be helpful for someone who wants to quit and to have a safe and healthy alternative while you're transitioning. I do highly recommend the lung cleanse with Damiana to help calm you and, you know, help you to get the addictive toxins out of your body. And then also maybe a detox with some burdock root added so that you can get the toxins out. And then that the burdock root is a blood purifier. So it can help to get the addictive toxins out of your bloodstream because once they're in there, it can take like 6 to 9 weeks to filter that stuff out of your body. So it's important that if you don't have a habit like that, you don't start one either. Okay, this is my weight loss blend. This is one of my most popular blends here. And weight loss is a byproduct of using this. And what I mean by that is the intention of this blend and how it was curated was to ensure that if you were retaining water anywhere, so for example, let's say you have fluid around your lungs or your fallopian tubes or something like that, just fluid buildup in general. This is designed for that. And a byproduct of helping with the fluid that doesn't belong, that your body is holding, is weight loss. So that's what this one is really for. And I've had people with cancer who really don't need to be losing weight take this weight loss blend and actually receive the benefit of, you know, fluid being removed from around the lungs or the fallopian tubes or, you know, like where the fluid buildup is occurring. All right. And then finally, I have my detox, which is certainly one of our best sellers. And this one, your body has a very short window for digestion. And if you do not pair foods together that digest properly and, you know, promote optimal digestion, then they don't go out the next time your body has a digestion cycle. And so, you know, things get stored in the body as fat. And this detox, Senna, is the star of this blend. It will make you go to the bathroom and get things out that were in there that shouldn't have stayed. And so this has been a very good and, you know, successful product in our line. And because of that, you know, it's one of our best sellers. We buy about 5 pounds and it moves very quickly. So I really like that one. And it performs very well because it gives really good results. And a combination of the detox and the weight loss blend, people usually lose about 1 to 3 pounds daily. And sometimes I detox. Sometimes I don't eat as well as I would like to and stuff like that. But, you know, here we are. And because of that, you know, I have these things that can be helpful to me to get my body back on track. So the way that I prepared these is exactly how I instruct our customers to receive best results. And what I mean by that is I have prepared these in a way that when you put the herbs in your glass jar and then you double brew it, which I'm about to do, I'm just loading up this thing here, this case, so that I can carry it all over and not spill it or make too many trips back and forth. But you double brew them. And so the herbs, they stay in the water and inside of the jar. And then when you put them into a pot with also cold water, look at this blood pressure one. You see the red stuff coming down out of the herbs in there. Oh my God, that is just so beautiful and trippy. Let me look from this side and see if you can see it. It's so neat. There it is right there. That is really pretty. I'm glad I was able to catch that. But anyhow, the double brewing method allows for you to have the water that is in the pot heat up the glass that the herbs are inside of so that they don't come into direct contact with boiling water. And they get heated up enough to where the nutrients and the micronutrients and everything in the herbs that will benefit you are extracted from them and put into the water. And then when you're done, you can take your herbs out of the jars like you've seen me do in the other videos, and you lay them out on a paper towel or parchment paper or something that they can dry on so that they don't grow mold. And you can use them over and over again until you've noticed that they're no longer like hitting as hard. So 2 times, definitely you're gonna get the maximum benefit, but I've seen people use them for up to a week. And I don't recommend to use the same herbs over and over beyond 7 days anyway. And then you can discard them by just throwing them outside back into nature from whence they came. So let me carry this over and move this so I can put another pot on and show you guys how to do the double brewing process. So I'm gonna take this over here. These are cases that we started building, and I'll show you those at the end. And then I'm going to add cold water halfway up these, and then I'm gonna put our herb jars in there. You're coming? Where are you coming to? Now, it is very important that the water in the pots is cold, just like the water in the jars. Otherwise, you can break your glass, which can be dangerous. It can actually hurt you, so you have to be careful. You coming? You coming? You coming where? Where you coming? Uh-oh, mommy dropped it. Huh? Or maybe I just set it there and it wasn't stable and stuff. Also an option.
No, yeah.
Oh, and I turned this off. This just needs to cool now.
I don't know. It smells like black beans and something.
It smells like the seasonings from it.
No.
Like cumin and all that stuff is in there. So the black beans don't necessarily have the smell that you're thinking about. It's the seasonings themselves.
Money, money, money. Get these on for like 10 to 15 minutes, strain them, and then we will be all done.
I can't lie, I smell good too. I thought it was
Everybody's like, oh, what are you cooking? What are you cooking? I'm like, nothing, broth. I'm doing chicken salad tonight, and I'm gonna do it with lion's mane mushroom in one of the batches to see if you guys can tell the difference, or if you like it with the lion's mane. Bashir, what's the problem, sir? What is the fuss? He wants a what? Oh, I wish that could stop ending up in the sink. I take it out of the sink like every day. I don't understand what the issue is. Bashir, you need to behave.
Is he in the bathroom? Get him out of there. It's a bad tail out of there. What are you getting into? Move. So, to busy my hands while I do that, I'm going to clean the juicer. And I also need to take out the pulp so that I can give it to my friend for the chickens. So this is our pulp. So pretty and purple. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. Lighting kind of sucks. Let me see if we go this way if you can see it. Whatever, it's pretty and purple. I have to take my word for it.
He's so nosy. He's so funny.
Oh, Bashir. Yeah, I made those so you could do them like loaded, the potatoes. Hey! Wild man. You want some? You want some juice? Yeah, you like that? I'm a little juice monster. You drinking my juice up? That's my favorite one. You don't know? You don't know? Don't take it nowhere. Give it to me. Crazy tail self. Put this under the oven. Thank you. I'm about to dry my freezer. The pot that I had that was beside the what is that thing called? It was beside the pot that everything is getting the broth is in. This one, I touched it and it had heated up from touching the thing. I feel like I have like a blister, like
You do?
growing. Do you see it?
No. What you do? Oh, you do. I see it.
I was like, that was dumb. I don't know why I didn't.
Why did you do that?
I went to move it, but you know, I'm just like, oh, this one's not turned on, but it was pressed up against the other one while everything was going. That was stupid. So,
I don't like how that looks. That purple is really making me mad.
you said it's making you mad.
Yeah.
You think it's ugly?
No, it's not that. It just looks so weird.
So it's making you mad?
Yeah.
What time is it?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? I thought that I would be done around 1, so I guess we'll start at 1:30. Ooh!
Yeah, it's hot. Huh?
Hmm?
It's hot.
Yeah, a little bit. I turned it down some.
Not really.
I still want it to be hot, like I can handle it. He's cool. He went downstairs in the basement where I live this morning. And you know how I like cleaned up all his stuff and separated everything so he couldn't like really dump stuff out? He went and dumped that whole bag out. Bro, I was so mad. He was like, don't do that. Ah, don't do that. Ah. Bashir dumped that whole bag over right in front of me and looked at him while he did it.
In the plant?
No, you know the ones that I took out and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to put these in there because they overwhelm him and they give him, you know, ideas to make a mess. So I was like, I don't really want to put that in there anymore because he will, he's not going to clean it back up if he plays with it. So I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. And so I took it out, but I didn't move it from in front of there yet. So he got a hold of it and just dumped it everywhere. The Maryland cleaned it up this morning. But he got to it because we were looking for him at first because I was like, where did he go? While I was, I didn't pack an order because he helped me pack the order. So he was down here for that. I think I was washing dishes or something and he just like dipped out. I was like, where he at? Because I didn't hear nobody's door open. So I was like, well, maybe he went downstairs because, you know, he can open that basement door. I'm like, maybe he went down there and got into something, or, you know, sometimes he really just goes down there and plays and he don't do anything nefarious, but most times he does. And then he came back down here, just butt naked, no pamper on. So I'm like, okay, somebody gotta get him. Huh?
That's when you call me?
When you ignored me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like yelling back or getting up. I was cold. And then, you know, I didn't want to yell so my voice could crack.
He was, and he was just so happy, and I'm like checking his butt, like, oh, did you poop? You know, and leave it somewhere, but he had just peed, and he just took the thing off. And I'm like, I don't understand why you don't just go to the bathroom. You can do everything else. You can go downstairs.
Yeah, because he was in the bathroom.
Exactly. He probably was in there, in that water table.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So he might have just taken the camper off because this morning when me and Bradley got in the shower, he didn't want to get in. So he might have just got in there and played in the water table because we filled it up, you know, while we were in the shower. So maybe that's what he was doing. And, you know, he knows when you get in the shower, you don't wear clothes. So maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. He's hard to gauge. I don't care as long as you don't get hurt or ain't tearing up nothing. But I just needed somebody to like see that he wasn't tearing stuff up. Then Avery, them lights, they went off last night, but I don't know how.
I know. I was there, I think.
LJ was like, who turned them off? And I'm like, not me. And then the front ones were on and went off. So I don't know, like, if
Are
something...
they connected?
I don't think so, because I've never seen the back ones before.
This is so much stuff we don't know about this house. I didn't even know my room could do that.
Do what?
The light switch in my room turns on my LED light. I didn't know that.
Oh, I do that. You just slow.
No, I just never turned on the light. But it's because...
Yes, certain lights are connected to certain outlets.
But you know, Bashir made me turn on the light. So I didn't even...
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have an overhead light, it's like, why would you be turning the light on? But they do it so that if you were to get a lamp, you could use a light switch to operate the lamp. I lived in a place like that before, but eventually I'm gonna just pay to have the ceiling fans and stuff installed, and have the ceiling fan, light switch, all that stuff in one, and then we ain't gotta worry about it no more. But I gotta figure out which ones I want, you know, and to get a contractor to do it, because I don't think it's something I personally want to do. I don't like to fool with electrical wiring, even though it ain't that hard. I'll just
You don't want a fan?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a fan, and then I want to, you know, make sure we have the right switches and stuff like that for it, or remotes like we had at the other house.
You don't want a remote.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
kind
gonna
of.
lose it, but I want a remote.
How you gonna lose it?
Because I lost the
You gonna keep your room clean. That's what's gonna happen.
My room is clean.
Okay. You cleaned it yesterday?
It's clean. I have to clean it.
Okay. That's what I was about to do because it's starting to get me upset. All done with that. The only thing I gotta clean out is the where Bashir? Can you hand me my drink that Bashir was took?
You almost finished.
Exactly. He up there dropping. I hear him sound like the whole house got falling.
I had like 5 gummy bears left.
You got what?
I had like 5 gummy bears left. That little gummy bears that I got from work
Uh-huh.
left.
What, they got a vending machine in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And he had kind of eased it. At first he was just acting like he was swearing. He was trying to go sit down. He was trying to ease it. And act like he wasn't about to grab. So when I grabbed, I said, what the? I gave him some. He's sitting there waiting for me to put the whole pack in his hand. I'm trying to give him one at a time so you don't choke. He wants all of it.
He feel like he can manage it himself. He think he the daggone tax
Yes,
man.
I'm
Like
like,
everybody
okay,
got to share with
I'm
him.
like, okay, I'm gonna give you one more. You can have 2. Then
He
he's
need his
waiting
hands
for the
full.
rest. Yeah, he's like, he's waiting for the rest.
He feel like he can manage his own stuff. Like we don't got to spoon feed him. He been on strike with me. Like he won't eat from me. He only eat from everybody else now. Like he puts me through like little weird things where I'll make his food and he won't eat it, but if somebody else put it in the plate and take it over there with him, he'll eat it. And
Hi, Bashir.
he be doing too much. But I think he was on strike with me.
Okay, talking about him, he was just right there.
Yeah, I don't care about that. So now our teas are ready. So I'm gonna turn these off and then I'm gonna strain them. So let's come from this angle this time. Let's see if that helps. Let's see. I'm gonna lift this up just a little. In what? What you doing, boy?
You want water?
Give him some of that juice that I got in that cup right there.
You can have water in here.
Hmm?
This?
Yeah, he can have some of that. That's good. I got it. Thank you.
What about the bottom?
Did I get everything? Good.
No. That's why I don't like beet juice. Because why is it?
That's not beet juice.
Oh, what is that?
The purple cabbage one.
Oh, yeah, I don't. Stop!
I like it. It tastes good.
I just don't want the color.
Drink it. It's real sweet. Drink it!
I don't want it!
Drink
I don't want it!
Drink one sip.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't know. It's perfectly fine. Everything else.
Oh, get out of my face.
Modern potatoes was so bomb.
Yeah. You want to make some more?
Yeah.
We should have this one. It's easy to make.
Because I for sure went back for septum. Thanks.
You already know you big. You don't need to hear it from me.
I'm not big. My stomach's flat.
Huh?
My stomach's flat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's how you feel?
That's no. It's what I know that.
Sure.
Sitting here body shaming. That's so rude.
I didn't body shame you. I just acknowledge what I've observed. Little butt looking baby. Back up off that too.
You said my butt is getting big?
No, your little butt has in your body is getting.
It's hot.
You gotta pretend you're getting that tongue.
Are you trying to find me?
What is wrong with you? Shut that noise. You don't even know what you want. Like,
Hold on. Maybe you probably go somewhere. Oh, what happened?
what? He spilled his drink or something?
I thought so, but
What happened? What's the problem?
I don't know. I'm just being dramatic because he's being dramatic. Oh, my food. Okay, you gotta wait.
Oh, he wants some of your food?
Yeah. It's in the freezer.
Maybe give him something. You think he wants some cereal?
You want cereal? You want cereal? Come here. Come here. Come here.
Go with Sissy.
Come here.
You have to be a good listener.
Come here. Come here. Which one do you want? You want this one? You want this one? You're not just gonna be telling me now. You want B?
Look how this blood pressure one turned out. This is so pretty. I saw the red stuff like infusing, but this came out great. That's all you know, telling some daggone body no. A little bad, so.
So you don't want cereal at all? Bashir, my hand hurts. Get down. Wait, my arm hurts. Get down. Stay right here. I'll make you some Lucky Charms, okay? Ow. You want frosted flakes?
Nice save. This one smells good.
Shut up. Whoa.
Stop telling her no. She's trying to help you, you little badness. You're being ungrateful.
Which one do you want? Right here. Which one do you want? Look, turn around. I'm giving you cereal. Turn around. Turn around. What is that? Which one do you want? Which one? Right here. No. No.
Bashir, chill out.
What you got? Give me that. Give me that. You don't need no. You heard what he just said?
What?
Sprinkle.
Well, he wants to. Why do you put cereal in the floor?
I'm trying to make him choose which one he wants.
You want some? Give him some. Give him some. Maybe he wants some ice cream.
You want ice cream? Okay. I need some ice cream.
You gotta chill out. You're doing too much. Shut that noise up.
Bashir, I'm getting it to you. You have to wait. You're being a brat. Put your hands out the sprinklers.
Let him put his sprinkles on top.
I am, but I have to do ice cream first. Back up. Get down real quick. Watch out. You want sprinkles, right? You have to have ice cream with this. Ice cream, come on. Okay. Here we go. Can you wash this off, please? Here, put these sprinkles on your ice cream. Put these sprinkles in.
Here.
Good job. On it. Good job. You want more sprinkles? Go ahead. All right, that's a lot. Too much. All right, y'all done. No more sprinkles. Go to your chair. Go to your chair. So you can have your ice cream and sprinkles. Go ahead. Did you hear what I just said? You have your sprinkles in here, right here. Come on. Is this chair clean, right?
Yeah.
Go to your chair.
I think so.
No.
If it's not a big deal.
Go sit down. Sit down.
Put all the cereal back. All right, now rinse this stuff off. Now on to the broth. easiest way to do this is to strain this into another stock pot. So I'm gonna get my largest strainer and put it over that stock pot. And it holds like that. And I just have to be careful. And that's just hot water, that's all. Okay, everything came out. All right, I'm gonna press this down and then I'm gonna pour it. Oh, we need a bag. See how soft the vegetables are?
I feel like the ice cream is a very bad idea.
You making a mess?
Oh, yeah.
Just feed it to him. You don't have to like let him do it himself. You can't trust him with it.
That's when you're talking dirty, right?
Yep. Loading it.
Oh, it's drying. No?
I already started it. Allowed. Put it on the side.
Which side?
Right over there. Where that spoon? Open the bag for me. See the little bag? That's the one I'm trying to do. Move the. See that handle? Yeah, move that. I'm not gonna burn you.
Oh, I was just moving back. I don't trust you. Okay. Burn me or not.
That's clean.
Bashir, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Are you hungry or not? All right, you got it. Bye now. Here, look, just spitting it out.
Don't get that.
I'm trying not to. That's why I did.
You could have just waited.
No, stay seated.
Wait a second, Bashir.
I'm going to help you. First. In here.
This one not moving. Okay, so our fasting kits are complete. a look. So here you have it. You've got your herbal teas for the morning. And then you have the cold pressed juices for the middle of the day to give you the extra boost. And then you have your vegetable broths to bring you back up at the end of the day. And so I do it this way. Like I said, this makes a case pack. So you do 3 a day, but then the last day, for example, you may want to incorporate food while you have this. Or if you're struggling on the first day or the third day, the second day is usually the easiest, then you can kind of add some extra. It's just liquid, you know, as long as you are using the liquids, you're still fasting. And so you can drink as much water as you want during this fast. You can do half your body weight in water in ounces. You can just do as much water as you can. You can try to do a gallon or whatever. And you're just gonna be in the bathroom, you know, getting the stuff up out of you. So very excited to finally have fully recorded from start to finish a video of creating these fasting kits. And everything is marked off of our list. All right, I'll put this back in here. Oh, let me look. Okay, so obviously you guys know that I've got some cleanup and stuff like that to do. I'm not gonna just keep having y'all watch me clean over and over and over again. I'm actually gonna get to this stuff in a little bit because I have some other stuff that I need to do. So now I need to teach my kids because we have a lesson where instruction is required. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that lesson with them. I will show more of the lessons that we do, but more like when they're doing the application portion, not when they're doing the part where they're actually learning about it, because, you know, there's a balance that we need to have when I'm doing that, to where they have, how do I put it? They get the space to actually be able to learn things and make mistakes without the whole world watching them try to figure something out. So their creative processes and, you know, their process of obtaining the actual information and turning that into knowledge and stuff like that, I don't think that that's very fair to them to have to do those things on camera. But as far as like when they're going over it and just being tested, as far as like gauging their understanding or showing something that they've created based off of what they learned or something like that, we'll probably show more of those things and not the actual process of learning, if that makes sense. And I can share like different activities and things like that that we do that will be helpful to you, but I don't want it to be harmful to them. So we're gonna do those things probably off camera, but you know, as we get into the part of the lesson where they are doing the application portion of the knowledge that they've obtained and it's no longer information, then I think they'll be happy to share that. So, you know, I play it by ear, and if they don't want to be recorded, they don't have to be. And that has been something that, you know, I always, you know, try to make sure that I have their consent before I'm just like, oh, this is what we're doing. You know, I mean, obviously we're all the same size, so I can't just be bullying and deboing these kids and doing whatever I want them to do anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna go ahead, put my stuff away, get my house back together, but I need to take a break from this part to actually do the part that I enjoy the most, which is the homeschooling part. So I'm about to gather up my kids. Our lesson, I will tell you, our topic for the entire year is numbers. So anything related to numbers in a right brain centric way that you could possibly imagine is included in this lesson. So as I go a little deeper into it and there are ways that we can show the application of what they know, then you'll probably see a bit of it. So thank you for watching. I might get on and do dinner, but today's video is gonna be super long, so this is probably all I get out today. And I still have to edit the video that needs to get posted for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that too. All right, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from me and my family.